Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome in if this is your first time being here. My name is Melissa. This is Empowered Gems Tarot, and in today's reading, we're going to be looking into the topic, what are your dreams trying to tell you? So we'll kind of dig in today to understand kind of like the emotion that's coming up for you in these dreams, what your subconscious is trying to tell you, and any guidance or advice from spirit to further illuminate the message that you're supposed to be receiving from this dream that's on your mind. So as you're watching this reading, you guys can watch it if you just had a weird dream and you're curious to understand what it is. Maybe you're somebody who's been having a recurring dream and you're not sure what it means. Any scenario, if you feel guided to view this reading, there's likely a message here for you. Keep in mind that this is a general collective reading on YouTube, so messages may vary in how specifically they'll resonate with each individual viewer out there. So as a best practice, if anything feels confusing or just feels like it doesn't really fit your current situation as you know it to be, just release it, let it go, understand the message is likely for somebody else out there in the collective. If you guys did want to book a personal reading with me, the link to my website is in the description box down below. Personal readings can be a better way to get a more specific and accurate read on your own personal energy or situation. And I do also offer subscriptions on Patreon. Our collective over on Patreon is a little bit smaller. So when I post my pick a card readings over there, you may find that they resonate a little bit more specifically if the generals here on YouTube are not quite hitting it for you. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and select your reading. If you're drawn to reading number 1, we'll be working with the Wizard of Oz Tarot and this piece of citrine. Okay. If you are drawn to reading number 2, we're going to be working with the Ethereal Visions Tarot and this amethyst. And if you're drawn to reading number 3, we're going to be working with the Muse Tarot and this pink Himalayan salt. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Think about the dream on your mind and what message that dream has for you. Go ahead and select the deck or crystal that you feel the most intuitively connected to. And once you've made your choice, you can scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will skip you ahead to your chosen reading. See you there. Hey group 1, and welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Wizard of Oz Tarot and this citrine crystal, this is going to be your message today. So we're going to be looking into what your dream or dreams are trying to tell you. And I'm going to do kind of like a little planned spread for this today. We're going to start by looking kind of at the general energy or themes. And then we're going to be taking a look at the emotional state that this dream is highlighting for you, what area of life or pattern it is being highlighted here, what your subconscious is trying to tell you, and then any advice. So we'll get into that in just a minute. So let's go ahead and start with the overall energy. So we start with Ocean of Emotion. Find a safe place to express your true feelings. Okay, sorry guys, my music just went to an ad, so I'm just gonna turn that off. And then we have Electra, the Awakener, Rise. Out of the ashes, I rise like the golden sun. Okay. So I wonder for some of you guys, if whatever dream it is that's on your mind is coming up because you guys have been through something recently, especially with this out of the ashes, I rise like the golden sun. This is giving me the image of a phoenix, right? The phoenix that goes up in flames, but then it rises from the ashes of those flames. So it's making me feel like you all are in the midst of sort of like a death and rebirth, more so a rebirth is I feel like the phase that you're moving into now, because it's specifically highlighting like rising from the ashes. I feel like whatever this is, there's probably a lot of emotion that you guys are feeling around this as noted here by this card. And maybe you guys have had emotions bottled up, or maybe the emotions feel kind of messy or vast. Right? The ocean is a very vast body of water, right? So it can be easy to get lost in it. I feel like maybe some of you guys are having a hard time like sorting through those feelings and emotions or understanding those feelings and emotions. And so this is being highlighted to find a safe place to express your authentic feelings. So I'm wondering for some of you if like you've been unpacking this like with a professional, like in therapy or something like that, or if you're feeling like the people around you don't understand you, or maybe there's a need to figure out a way to communicate your emotions in a way that feels authentic to you, but also productive. Okay. I don't know. I just kind of keep feeling like there's a lot of emotion that feels confusing, or that maybe you're having a hard time pinpointing here. So let's get into the spread. So the emotional state first. So what is that emotional state, Spirit, that's being highlighted in this dream for group 1? Emotional state. Oh yeah, the 5 of Cups. So there's something here that you guys are feeling disappointed by or upset by. You're grieving the loss of something. And I almost feel for some of you, like maybe there are people or someone in particular in your life with this Wicked Witch here that are like laughing at your pain, or that don't really understand your pain, or maybe they're minimizing your pain. Maybe even for some of you, getting joy out of the pain that you're going through, or getting joy out of your downfall. So there's like a sadness, a grief, a loss, something here, which is, I think, why the dream is emotional. What's the area of life or pattern that's being highlighted in this dream, please, Spirit? We have the World. So it's like there's something here for you guys where you are on the precipice of a new beginning, but I feel like maybe some of you guys are still kind of stuck or hesitant about this new beginning, right? Because if we look at the imagery in this card, we can see she's like still inside the black and white house. This is like right after she lands in Munchkin Land, right? So she's still kind of in the black and white, still in the foundation that she knows, but there's like this wondrous new world out there that's all in color, that's different. And so there could be something about like, when we're talking about the area of life or pattern, maybe there's a pattern where you guys are hesitant for change, or there's a pattern where we like to stay in our comfort zone, which if that's you, don't feel bad, because most humans are like that. Most humans don't like change. They like to stay in what's comfortable. But I also think in terms of the area of life, right? Even if this is not a pattern for you, Spirit is highlighting that this dream is telling you there's a new world out there for you. There's something that you have closed out, a cycle that you've ended, and a new one that is opening up. And your dream is like highlighting that for you. So let's dig deeper. What is the subconscious trying to communicate to group 1 through this dream, please, Spirit? What is the subconscious trying to communicate to group 1? We have the Page of Bricks. This is the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so this is about educating yourself, right? The Page of Pentacles is curious. It's a student. There's a lesson, a new beginning to learn more. There's something here about like finding the value in this brick that he has in his hand, right? So maybe your subconscious is trying to communicate to you to be more curious, about what's out there, to be more curious about the new beginning. And the Page of Pentacles is about taking a baby step. So maybe starting off with education, or reading something, or being a student or an intern, right? There could be something connected to like more formal education for some of you. But if not, they're saying like being curious and taking it slow, one step at a time, right? Like don't expect yourself to be perfect. Don't expect yourself to be the most knowledgeable right away, or a subject matter expert, or to be like in the authority, right? This is very much about taking just a step on the path toward this new beginning. And the Pentacles have to do with your stability as well, right? It's like our money, finances, resources, stability. Okay, so taking it slow through learning and curiosity is what your subconscious is trying to communicate to you, okay? Let's look at the advice, and then we're also going to pull some additional oracles for you. So what about advice for group 1 as it pertains to this dream? Ooh, we have the 9 of Pentacles. I love that for you guys. I feel like this is a pep talk from Spirit, where Spirit is kind of saying like you are so abundant, and you have all of the tools and resources that you need to be successful. And I also feel like with this Hanged Man here, you notice how he's like hanging upside down in the middle of the twister and he's just like totally unbothered, right? I think like whatever is happening around you circumstantially, whatever chaos, whatever drama, like whatever is happening, I feel like within whatever this old environment is, try to just like not get caught up in it and just look at it from a new and different perspective. Again, like being curious, I think is super important to whatever this dream is trying to tell you. Don't let whatever drama is happening phase you. Look at it from your own different perspective here. But back to this Nine of Pentacles, this is when we have everything that we need, right? Financially. It can be like entrepreneurship. It's also independence here, right? So I think what Spirit is trying to tell you is that like you have all the tools and resources that you need to be abundant, prosperous, successful. And this is about getting yourself to a place where you are in that energy. So if for some of you guys, maybe you're not identifying with being in this Nine of Pentacles energy just yet, you're on the path there by starting off with this Page of Pentacles, by starting off with curiosity, by looking for the value in opportunities that are being presented to you, even if it feels a little outside of your comfort zone with the world being here. One step at a time, doing things the right way, brick by brick, you get to this Nine of Pentacles where you're independent, self-sufficient, financially stable, and you don't necessarily need anyone to support you, right? So let's kind of look at some additional oracles to close us out, just to see what else Spirit wants you guys to know about this dream that you've been having. I will also say sometimes pages can indicate children. So maybe for some of you, this dream connects to that, or the situation can connect to children as well. Let's see. What else do you want Group 1 to know, Spirit, about this dream? What else should they know? Walking away. Yeah. And this is about leaving behind a situation that does not serve us anymore. So even though you guys might be in a comfort zone, it doesn't have a lot of color. It doesn't have a lot of vibrancy. And so you're leaving a comfortable place and you're venturing out to explore new things. And if you're not doing that yet, I think it's to come. And your dream is trying to tell you that. For some of you guys, it might not be that you're really emotional with this ocean of emotion, but it could just be that you have mixed feelings about things, or I just keep feeling there's a little bit of hesitancy in your energy. Let's get a couple more, please, Spirit, for Group 1. Okay. Ooh, we have the Temple Path, which I love. So this is very spiritual, you guys. I definitely feel like this dream is a spiritual message. For some of you guys, for a lot of you, your ancestors, your guides, your angels, they're communicating with you through these dreams. Your loved ones could be communicating with you through these dreams that have transitioned, loved ones who have transitioned. But the Temple Path does talk about that energy of being supported, guided by our ancestors, by Spirit, and just understanding that we are on like a divinely orchestrated path. You can't mess this up, right? This is all a part of your journey. This is all about part of your growth and your healing. Okay. Last one here, we have the woman holding a coin, which I love. And this kind of ties in with that Page of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles energy that I was getting here. I think your subconscious is trying to tell you that you have a lot to learn. This is a learning path for you, especially with the World and the Page of Pentacles coming up together. It makes me feel like whatever this new beginning is for you, it is going to broaden your mind. You're going to be learning a lot, but it's learning a lot of things that are going to help you lay a foundation for this Nine of Pentacles if you're not in that Nine of Pentacles energy yet. The woman holding a coin is stable when it comes to her resources. Like for a lot of you, this almost feels like it's connected to your career or your financial stability in life. But with the cat, it's kind of echoing that message of being independent. So you're headed toward that direction, Group 1. Maybe even headed toward having more authority over your career, your finances, your resources. And something else that I did want to point out is we did have hostilities here, which kind of reminds me of the Hanged Man, how we were talking about like Maybe there's a lot of chaos around you or things feel a little bit aggressive, right? What's going to serve you and your highest good as you move through this energy is to not let it affect you. Kind of be like this guy here in the card who just like is completely unbothered. And more so the Hangman talks about like looking at something from a new and different perspective, right? Challenging outmoded belief systems and waiting before acting, which allows you that opportunity with the Page of Pentacles to be curious and to learn, right? To take things slow. Okay. So let's just take a peek here at one more message to see what Spirit wants to close us out with as it pertains to this dream for group 1. Final message for group 1. What do you want them to know, please, Spirit, as it pertains to this dream that they've been having or that they had? Brilliance. Discover your sparkle. That is so beautiful. You know, it kind of, and then we also have letting love in as well. So maybe there's also something here that's connected to your love life, right? Being more open-hearted. Maybe something about this journey, this path, is allowing you to open up to those types of opportunities as well. Even though a lot of what I see here feels more like resources and financial and career, I think there is something about this new path that will lead you to more love, being welcomed into your life. But this brilliance, discover your sparkle, is so beautiful because like that's exactly what this 9 of Pentacles is about. This woman holding a coin, right? This world energy. You guys are kind of moving, I feel, from some sort of an old stagnant energy where things felt really dark and gray, or maybe you've just outgrown it, right? Maybe it's like the old you, the old version of you, and you're going to be moving into a new timeline or a new energy where things are much more colorful, things are much more nuanced, and you're going to be discovering the unique ways in which you shine and bring abundance to the table, which is really, really beautiful. So even though it feels like there's something kind of emotionally disappointing or something that you guys are grieving here, that's kind of coming up emotionally in this dream, it feels like what your subconscious is trying to tell you is that you're on to a new beginning and you're on to a better path. That's like spiritually guided. It's part of the plan for you, okay? So really cool, group 1. Let me know what you've been dreaming about and let me know how this message might resonate with that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next reading really soon. Bye. Hello, group 2. Welcome to your reading. So today we're going to be looking into what your dream is trying to tell you. You guys selected the Amethyst Crystal and the Ethereal Visions Tarot, and we're going to be doing a full spread today where I'm going to take a look at kind of the emotional state that this dream is bringing up for you. We're going to look at the area of life or any patterns that are being illuminated through this dream. We'll take a look at what your subconscious is trying to tell you and also look at some advice. So let's go ahead. It's interesting as I'm shuffling, this 9 of Wands is coming up. So it's making me wonder if my group 2 viewers, if some of you guys have been feeling a little tired, a little exhausted, guarded, maybe paranoid, or maybe you're kind of having to push through to finish something here. Let's take a look at our overall energies. So starting us off, we have North Star, flip your inner light switch. And then we have Maya, the ancient grandmother, teacher. I'm the teacher that leads with self-knowledge. Very cool. So already what I feel, just overall, just general energy so far with this dream, group 2, is this dream is illuminating something about you. Something about your inner light, something about your self-knowledge, your inner wisdom. For some of you, there could be an ancestor here that's assisting you as well or communicating with you through this dream, maybe a grandmother or maternal figure in your life. But even still, it's about you. It says, I am the teacher that leads with self-knowledge. So if you guys are feeling confused about your path right now, or if you're not sure what you should be doing or how to navigate a situation, you're being guided to teach through the knowledge and the wisdom that you have already acquired. Okay. So like learning to flip on and be comfortable with that glow, I think is really important here. That light that you bring, like your self-knowledge illuminates the path forward for yourself or maybe even for others. So let's go ahead and get into the details here. So Spirit, can you help us better understand the emotional state that this dream is bringing up for group 2 to start? Ten of Cups. This is so beautiful. So this is showing me like home and family matters, love life matters for a lot of you guys. Maybe for some of you, this dream is bringing up this kind of like idyllic, euphoric sort of energy. Maybe not euphoric, but this is kind of, this card really represents like the quintessential happy ending that we look for in life, or that a lot of people strive for in life, where we've got like our love interest, we're committed to them, and we have children together, and we are a beautiful family. If you guys are not like specifically wanting that, or if that's not feeling resonant to you, just know that this Ten of Cups, this signifies like the ultimate achievement of happiness, right? The ultimate achievement of emotional fulfillment that you could possess, but it does oftentimes include other people, even if it's not romantic, okay? So what's the area of life or the pattern that's being highlighted in this dream? Please, Spirit, for group 2. The Nine of Swords. Okay. So the pattern I think that's being highlighted here for you guys is anxiety, overthinking things. I also feel for a lot of you guys, like there's a fear of criticism that I see, because look at this, how she's like, it's all these people or these creepy figures that are around her that are pointing fingers, they're laughing at her. You know, it's almost like she is worried about what they think or worried about their reactions here. And this might not be literal, like that you guys have people in your life that are judgmental. Could be. Maybe for some of you, this is more like your own thoughts, because the Nine of Swords does talk about our own thoughts, right? Keeping us up at night, rumination, those voices in our heads that can be kind of critical or nitpicky or make us think the worst, okay? What is the subconscious message that that Spirit is communicating to group 2 through the stream? Please, Spirit. There it is again, the Nine of Wands. So there is something here with these nines, like I feel with this Nine of Wands that it's just so interesting, right? Because the emotion that's coming up is this beautiful, happy, like idyllic energy. Contentment, happiness, joy, family, children, romance, like all the things. But whatever is coming up in this dream, or what your dream is trying to talk to you about, is like there's something about rumination, judgment of yourself, overthinking things, anxiety. And then there's also this paranoid kind of guarded energy that's coming up for you guys as well. This is the subconscious message that your higher self or spirit is communicating to you through this dream. I wonder if some of you guys sometimes, when there are relationships involved, maybe you tend to not always trust your intuition, or you feel kind of guarded because you've been hurt in the past. And I think the key to sort of unlocking movement forward there is to lean into the lessons that you guys have already learned. Not to be guarded, but to be discerning, right? What's the advice here, Spirit, for group 2? Advice for group 2 about what's coming up in this dream, please. The King of Cups. This is beautiful energy. And yeah, the High Priestess. So it's like, I think Spirit is wanting you to trust your intuition, not necessarily to, because like the Nine of Wands is sort of it's sort of like very guarded. It's like we don't want someone coming near us. We feel, like, how do I phrase it? Like we just don't trust others very easily. You know what I mean? And so because of that, it's like we can push people away who don't mean us any harm. And we keep ourselves kind of closed off to being able to connect and achieve this Ten of Cups, which is what I feel you guys ultimately desire, because this is the emotion that's being activated for you. So I think what Spirit is wanting you to do is trust your intuition with the High Priestess, and with the King of Cups here, this is about learning to master your emotions. Okay, so the King of Cups is somebody who has feelings, deep feelings. They are going to be somebody who feels a lot. They have compassion and empathy for others. They are definitely someone that others will go to for advice, for counsel, because they feel emotionally supported by this person. But the cool thing about the King of Cups is that he also knows how to regulate and how to master his own emotions and to not necessarily let the behavior of others throw him super off course, right? Now, no, none of us is perfect when it comes to that. It's totally normal to have an emotional reaction if something hurts us. But the King of Cups, would know how to kind of filter that and not let it ruin his whole day or ruin his whole week or keep him up at night worrying. Or it's almost like this, I'm getting this image of you guys imagining like a golden, abundant bubble around you where negativity or wrongdoing, it just like bounces off of you. So it's like, even when people do show up poorly, you can kind of still hold compassion for them, but say that behavior is more about them than it is about me, if that makes sense. So let's get a few additional. Yeah, I do feel for a lot of you guys, this is something to do with relationships or a relationship of significance. I think that Spirit is telling you have a very strong intuition. Sometimes it's good to just kind of lean back and observe with the High Priestess, right? Because the High Priestess is not a talker. This is somebody who just kind of senses what's going on around her and watches and stays quiet. And that can help you to also learn a lot about what's going on and sort of quiet the mind, quiet the anxiety that preoccupies your mind and may sometimes tell stories that aren't fully true, leading to you coming across more guarded with people. So yeah, with the North Star, flip your inner light switch. This is about you guys trusting your intuition, right? Like, you already know a lot. You already possess a lot of wisdom. Now it's time to start listening to it and trusting it in your decision making. So what else, Spirit, do you want Group 2 to know? Please. We have adjacent possibilities. Interesting. Okay. So there could be a path that you're not thinking of that you can explore here. Okay. We also have the thinking woman. Let's get one more. And we have the contract energy here as well. Yeah, and then we have all tied up. So are you guys maybe like in a situation or finding yourself in situations where you feel stuck, where you feel trapped, where you feel like you don't have the power? I feel like Spirit wants you to know that you do have the power, for sure. You do have the power, specifically the intellectual power here. Okay. So there's something here about a different possibility. Now, this is oddly specific, so this may not resonate with all my Group 2 viewers, but if some of you guys are wanting a family or wanting to have a child or something like that, I think Spirit is saying there's other possibilities that you can get that if you don't want to do it the traditional way. So just take that as it resonates for you. And if that is resonating with you, I think you need to just do your research with the thinking woman. And make sure that all of your paperwork is in order with whatever route you choose to take, okay? That may not be for everybody though. But generally speaking, I think Spirit is saying there are other possibilities. There's other ways that you guys can get to this 10 of Cups that maybe you haven't considered. And I feel like a part of this has to do with tackling this 9 of Swords, 9 of Wands energy through learning more, maybe learning more about yourself through reading, through getting maybe some support through somebody who is an intellectual or a subject matter expert who can help you with that kind of stuff. But this also ties back to the teacher, the ancient grandmother. I am the teacher that leads with self-knowledge. So this is saying like you already possess the wisdom and the skill to problem solve whatever situation this dream is bringing up for you. I think specifically whatever is causing you anxiety, or maybe it's the anxiety in particular. And there's something that's also connected to commitments or contracts here. There could be legal stuff for some of you, but the contract just talks about like a serious commitment, right? Taking something seriously, putting it in writing, metaphorically or maybe literally. This can also talk about karmic lessons too. So maybe some of you guys are learning a karmic lesson right now through this scenario that's being laid out here that your dream is communicating with you about. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. But yeah, I think with the scales and this King of Cups, it's like there's definitely advice here about balancing your emotions and maybe moving in a space that's more neutral. Trying to keep yourself even keeled, trying to be objective when you look at the situation so that whatever is happening does not throw you off balance. Okay, so let's just grab one more here for group 2. I just heard custody. Maybe for some of you, this is like a custody thing. Okay, ooh, let's get one more. Just one, please, Spirit, for group 2. About this dream, please. Okay, we have Ruby, rejuvenate your body. So maybe some grounding exercises would be good for you. Getting out into nature, going for walks in nature, working on your physical strength might be helpful at this time as well. Taking care of your physical body, I think, would help release some of this tension that's going on mentally for some of you guys. So yeah, this is kind of what I see, group 2. A very interesting message. To me, this feels like it's about managing anxiety connected to like maybe interpersonal relationships. So I'm very curious to hear in the comments what you guys have been dreaming about and what you feel it's telling you and how this reading might have resonated for that. So let me know. Thank you all so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in our next reading soon. Bye. Hey, group 3, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Muse Tarot and this pink Himalayan salt, this is going to be your reading. So we're going to be looking into what your dream is trying to tell you. So we're going to do a little spread for this. But before I get into the spread, I want to look at sort of the overall energy or theme with these 2 oracle cards that we have here. So we start off with Be the Bridge. This says, expand your consciousness to behold both worlds. And then we have Electra, Goddess of Balance, Equality. I create and foster reciprocal relationships. Okay. So whatever this dream is communicating to you guys, there could be something here that is about understanding multiple perspectives, or maybe there's a more specific situation where you're being called to understand both sides of an argument, both sides of the story, both perspectives involved. And being a bridge kind of, to me, talks about building connection, right? Building connection versus building silos. To be able to better, like, maybe this is about like reconciliation, maybe it's about building belonging or diffusing misunderstandings, just making it more like approachable or comfortable for like whoever is involved here to repair or talk or understand. And this is a really interesting message too with this Goddess of Balance. I create and foster reciprocal relationships. So there's something here as well about the balance in these relationships and really making sure that there is equal exchange of give and take, and that both people are benefiting versus one person doing all of the work and the other person reaping all the benefits but not really reciprocating, right? So let's keep going into our spread. We're going to start with the emotional state that this dream or dreams are bringing up for you. So what is the emotional state being highlighted in group 3's dream, please, Spirit? The 9 of Pentacles. Wow. Well, this is giving me an energy of just being really free, which is so beautiful. It's like a very free, just like abundant energy. Now, the 9 of Pentacles can talk a lot about being independent, self-sufficient, having all of the resources that we need to be successful, to be comfortable, to achieve this level of freedom, right? Even when I look at this depiction of the card, it's like, you know, if you've achieved a certain level of earning, you can be free. I mean, unfortunately, that's kind of how it is in our world, right? The more money you have, the more freedom it buys you, where you can kind of come and go as you please. You're not beholden to a 9 to 5, right? You can work for yourself. There's a lot of different things that freedom can mean in that context, and it's going to be different for everybody out there. But the 9 of Pentacles coming up as the emotional state is like, it feels like what this dream is communicating is something about you guys being free to be able to come and go as you please. And perhaps the avenue to getting there has to do with your material well-being. Okay. So let's look at the area of life or the pattern that this dream is highlighting for you, group 3. The moon. So the moon is like our subconscious. It is kind of our fears. It's our intuition. This can also be an energy where we're not seeing things clearly, or we're escaping. Maybe escapism could be highlighted here as well. Like we know on a deep subconscious level that something isn't right, but it feels good, or we're kind of escaping, or there's something about it that allows us that freedom, but it's like that subconscious freedom. Does that make sense? With this kind of talking about relationships, it just makes me wonder for some of you guys if the pattern or the area of life with this moon is connected to your relationships. So maybe there's a tendency to escape into them, to not see them clearly, to project, to kind of maybe suppress your intuitive or subconscious knowings about relationships, right? So that could be significant for some of you guys as well. What is the subconscious message that this dream is sharing with group 3? Please, Spirit. We have the 8 of Swords. So there's like this message of feeling stuck. This is so interesting, right? Because the emotion coming up or being highlighted in the dream has to do with freedom. But then there's like this stuckness with this 8 of Swords coming up with your subconscious communication, right? So I kind of wonder with these 2 cards, for some of you guys, if like you have more freedom than you realize that you do, or there's something that's blocking your ability to see sort of like the mental blocks a little bit more clearly here, right? Like the 8 of Swords is usually like when we are mentally stuck, but it keeps us physically stuck because like our thoughts keeping us trapped, our thoughts keeping us stuck. Like it's a situation where we have a lot more power than we realize that we do. And it's really just the voices in our head that are keeping us down, right? And so there's something here about that where your subconscious is trying to communicate to you that you're not really as stuck, or the situation isn't as bad as what you might be thinking that it is. Okay. What's the advice here, Spirit, for group 3 coming through with this dream? The 9 of Swords, so interesting. And then we also have the 8 of Cups here at the bottom of the deck. I think that some of you guys might be like needing to, with this 9 of Voices, the 9 of Swords, it's when we're ruminating, when our thoughts are keeping us stuck, our fears are keeping us stuck. And all of these cards kind of have that undertone of fear, right? Where, and I feel like in your case, this dream is pinpointing that the fear is keeping you in a stuck place. With this 9 of Swords, the advice that I get from this is you need to confront it. It's time to take action, right? Because sitting in rumination or worrying and overthinking things, it just keeps us in analysis paralysis, right? It keeps us stuck. And I feel with this 8 of Cups that you guys are not fulfilled with something here. Maybe it's with relationship, right? But there's something that they're saying like you're not completely fulfilled with, and maybe there's a need to go on a little bit of an emotional journey for some of you to figure out what it is that does bring you fulfillment emotionally. And I do believe when you guys find that fulfillment, it's going to bring in transformative change for you because we have an eclipse here. Eclipses bring in massive changes. So yeah, it's like the dream is bringing up this freedom. But then it's also kind of saying there's a tendency here, group 3, to maybe like project or to not see things clearly, or to get stuck in fear. Okay, now let's move into another deck so we can get some additional insight. So what else, Spirit, would you like group 3 to know about this dream and what it's trying to communicate with them? I also think Spirit wants you to like rest your mind a little bit too, because you see here how she's like asleep so peacefully, and she looks kind of peaceful too. Maybe making sure that you guys are getting more restful sleep is something that's important at this time. What else, Spirit, do you want group 3 to know about this dream? All tied up. That's exactly like the same energy as this 8 of Swords. I don't know, like, are you guys looking to be out of a relationship? Are you looking for more independence, more financial freedom in your life? With that 9 of Pentacles and then all of this relationship stuff coming up, it makes me feel like you guys just want to be free of like drama, or maybe you feel stuck in a relationship for some of you, or stuck when it comes to relationships for some of you. But this is telling me that your thoughts are part of the problem here. What else, please, Spirit? The Temple Path. Okay, so for a lot of my group 3 viewers, whatever you are going through right now, we also have patience here. So whatever you've been going through right now, whatever this is for you, you are being guided and supported by your ancestors and your spirit guides and your angels at this time. You see the little orbs here? The Temple Path talks about that you're being guided divinely, and you're supported in spirit. And it also talks about how like you are on this journey, this divinely orchestrated journey. Whatever it is that you're going through right now is all part of the plan for you. Like it's all part of your learning journey, your growth, maybe getting to this 9 of Pentacles. Okay. What else? And then we have action. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, and that kind of aligns with what I was saying with the 9 of Swords. Like, I think it's time to take action. I think it's time to make a change in your physical movement with regard to this situation, because sitting in rumination isn't helping the situation. So I think getting out, getting grounded, seeking fulfillment through experiences or through, I feel like you guys just even getting out into nature would be helpful. Maybe like riding horses would be helpful for some of you. If not taken literally though, it's like with the 9 of Swords and this action card, instead of ruminating and overthinking, it's time to take some steps forward. And you guys can see here with this card, we have like a white horse that's moving really fast and then a black horse that's moving a little slower. I also feel with this 8 of Cups, there's a slower movement. So if going fast, quick changes feel like jarring for you, I think Spirit is saying it's okay to take it one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. You don't have to rush this, especially if that's going to make you feel even more anxious, right? Now, the other thing that I'm getting for some of you guys with this Be the Bridge is I'm wondering if there is, because there's a lot of spiritual kind of subconscious energy coming up here. I wonder for some of you guys if there's like a need here to bridge between the spiritual and the practical that's coming up too, because there's a lot of cerebral energy where I feel like you guys are in your head. And the advice is more about grounding and getting out of your head and taking steps forward, right? So maybe that's a part of this being the bridge is we can have the spiritual, we can have the thoughts, but we also need to put in the aligned action to make the change that we want to make. Okay. So closing message for group 3 about this dream, please, Spirit. Okay. We have yellow. Purify your body. Beautiful. And then look, we also have emerald. Calm your mind, body, and soul, rather. Yeah, so exactly. I think this could be, maybe getting out and exercising, getting out into nature seems to be coming up for me when it comes to your reading, group 3. But getting out into nature, doing things that make your body feel good, even if that means like getting rest sometimes, for instance, Because I feel like there is a component where you guys need to balance between making sure you're getting proper rest, but then also taking action, right? Balance the two. And I think also if you guys have been dealing with relationships where they take more than they give, or maybe some of you guys feel stuck and want to free yourself, that's blocking you. You know what I mean? So there's something about like releasing energetic cords to people that take more than they give. Freeing yourself from that, I think, is going to help you to feel lighter and to feel just like energetically more pure, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think this is what I see group 3. I'm really curious to hear from you in the comments what you dreamt about. So comment below and let me know what you think about this reading and how it connects to your dream. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in our next reading soon. Bye.